And welcome back to another Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Season 2, Episode 2. I am your host, Tyler Belosky, and our co-host slash host, so I guess he's just a host, Eli Belosky.
Hey guys,
How's it going tonight, Eli?
it's going pretty good.
Tonight we are doing
Top 10 quarterbacks.
Top 10 quarterbacks, that's correct. And we're going to be doing some other things throughout the night. But just to summarize what we did last time, we were supposed to do our top 10 quarterbacks last week with my brother, but we went camping, and camping got out of control. We were having so much fun. So we weren't able to do it last week. Sorry about that, guys. So 2 weeks ago, we did our AFC preview. Next week, we'll do our NFC preview. So tonight, just to stay on schedule, we'll do our top 10 quarterbacks. And like we said last time, we just tell it how it is. We don't beat around the bush when it comes to our rankings, our predictions,
our stats,
our starts, benches, guys. We just tell it how it is. We don't get into ADPs or tiering or anything. We just sit, start, don't draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do it. We don't get too fancy. We're a 35, 45-minute long show, and we just love it. First thing we do is we're going to do our nines, which is news, injuries, notes, entertainment, and stats. And that is presented by Pristine Auction. PristineAuction.com is a wonderful website. You can get signed memorabilia from bats and balls to footballs and helmets, jerseys. PristineAuction.com. It's legit. They have certified autographs. Super good deals there, guys. It's free to sign up. It's free bidding. If you lose, you don't have to worry about paying any auction fees. If you lose, you just go on to the next auction and bid something else. We buy stuff there probably once a month. We try to stay with the pitchers. Eventually, we're going to get a jersey or a helmet. But they're super good guys over there at pristineauction.com. Thank you for sponsoring our show, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, our nines are... First one up is Andrew Luck. As we said, it's the dull season of the year, kind of low-key things. If you live under a rock, you wouldn't know this, but Andrew Luck just had shoulder surgery a few months back. He's still recovering. He'll be ready to go week 1, but just remember when you go to draft him, just keep that in mind. We'll talk about that later in our rankings. Eli, what do you have for number 2 for our nines?
Carlos Hyde, rookie Joe Williams, and Tim Hightower. They're competing for the number 1 spot, running back spot in San Francisco. It's really close right now. I wouldn't be surprised if either Joe Williams or Tim Hightower is gonna be the number 1 after this. So just watch out for that.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to draft Carlos Hyde, get Joe Williams. If you're going to draft Joe Williams, get Carlos Hyde. I think those are your 1, 2. I think by the end of the year, Joe Williams will be your starter in San Francisco. I don't think the 49ers like Carlos Hyde anymore. They may get rid of him.
Like they did with Frank Gore.
Yeah, that a handful of years ago. So maybe Hyde will be on the waiver wire soon, or maybe they'll try to trade him away. And our third 9 is the Carolina Panthers are saying that Jonathan Stewart, running back, will get the bulk of the carries this year over Christian McCaffrey, the rookie. And I don't blame him. I mean, he's a veteran running back. He is good still. I mean, you can get him super late in the drafts, in any of your drafts. That's what we're seeing. So steal him. Actually, coming up, we're going to try to take him later on in our Scott Fishbowl League. So, well, Eli, I can spoil a little bit. Someone's gonna take him next pick anyways.
Yeah.
But we want him. We'll take him. But so Christian McCaffrey is a rookie, and we'll talk about more of that about both of them next week, and where you can draft them both. And I think that's a bit with our nines.
Yeah, and 3 nines this week.
3 nines this week. Like I said, it's a slow season this year. Slow week this week. Should be picking up pretty soon when training camp opens up in a couple days or a couple weeks or so. So our nines will be overstocked. Yeah. Our nines usually turn into 99s.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, that's our nines presented by Pristine Auction, pristineauction.com. Thank you guys for sponsoring our show. Right now, before we get to our top 10, we're going to talk about the Scott Fishbowl. Scott Fishbowl League, SFB7. We were invited So we joined. We asked, we put our application in. Scott said yes. So thank you so much, Scott, for having us. And we are in about our 9th or 10th round or so for our draft. And we love it. This is probably one of the best leagues we've ever been in. It's 720 people.
Wow.
Or teams. And it's like 60 divisions. And Scott Fish has his hands full. I mean, he's a commissioner of the overall whole thing. And it's experts and fans, and it seems like it's going to be a good time. I've connected with so many people on Twitter. Our following has gone from like 35 to 120 or so. So thank you guys so much for following us, and we follow back if you follow us. And so yeah, it's a good time. Eli, why don't you tell them our roster so far for our Scott Fish Bowl League?
Well, our starting quarterback is Tom Brady, which I think is a great pick.
Yeah, we took him in the first round. So why did we take him in the first round? Tell us about the stats real quick before we get into our team.
Well, there's a little different point
system.
Point system. There's 1 point for first down for every position but tight end. Tight end gets 1.5 points for every first down. And there's no PPR for
receptions.
For receptions. And those wide receiver like Jarvis Landry, he's unfortunately in this league he's not going to be good to draft because he gets so many receptions and it's not PPR in this league.
Yeah, you'll definitely get him. He went much later than normal because of that. And then also you can start 2 quarterbacks. So we have Tom Brady, and who else do we have at the quarterback?
We have Eli Manning of the New York Giants. Our 3 wide receivers so far are OBJ, Devontae Adams, and Willie Snead. Our starting running back is Marshawn Lynch, which I really like this year. Mike Gillislee from New England. Delaney Walker of Tennessee for our tight end. Flexes, so far we have Eddie Lacy and CJ Fedorowicz.
Yeah, we took 2 tight ends because, like I said, the tight ends get a ton of points. And speaking about tight ends, Nate Hamilton from DominateFantasy.com, he's taken 5 tight ends. His draft is all done. He took 5 tight ends.
Wow.
And I was talking to him earlier today, and he's definitely going to be starting 3 of those 5, and 3 of those 5s are Gronk, Greg Olsen, and Kyle Rudolph. If he doesn't get to the playoffs and even maybe the Final 4, he's doing something wrong. But Nate, your team is stacked at tight ends, and I wish you luck, and we'll see you in the championship or sometime in the playoffs because we're not in the same division. Our division actually is the Villains Conference, and we're in the Cruella DeVille division with Brandon Marion Lee, and I don't know his real name, but the Red King is actually the one who asked us to talk about the Scott Fish Bowl League. So the Red King is in our division. We have Bob Lung and Todd Burrows. We were actually on his podcast a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and we might be on it again, I heard.
Yeah, we've been talking to him a little bit. And Mike Renz. Sorry, Mike, if I mispronounced your last name. So we got some good competition this year in our leagues. But you have other pros in there from ESPN and CBS and the higher up guys who are pros, and you have the medium guys, and you have kind of the low guys like us, and then the fans.
But everyone else still has some good competition.
Yeah, they have us. They have to beat us. And so we're gonna hang in there. Our goal is to make the playoffs and eventually, hopefully, make the championship and get that belt that is offered, and some coffee and some T-shirts. But thank you so much, Scott. Once again, Scott asked us also to talk about the Scott Fish Bowl. And when Scott says jump, you ask him how high. So, Scott, thank you for asking us to jump. And thank you for inviting us to the Scott Fish Bowl League this year. We are super pumped. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to do it for the Scott Fish Bowl. We're going to keep everyone up to date the best we can weekly with our own personal team and the rest of our teams throughout the year on our weekly podcast. So that's our Scott Fish Bowl segment. What do you think? Wrap it up?
Yeah. Go to top 10 quarterbacks.
Top 10 quarterbacks. So when we do our rankings, we each have the same. We pretty much have the same top 10 quarterbacks, roughly, maybe a little different order. And it's not really based on projections. It's not based on this. It's just our top 10 quarterbacks. If we're going to draft, this is our drafting order. It's not right. I'm assuming that's how you did it. I just said, Eli, make up your top 10. So you did it. So Eli, who's your number one quarterback this year?
I got Tom Brady of New England Patriots. He's going to be good, like always. He's always great. And he has newly acquired Brandon Cooks. So I think he's going to have an even better year this year. Hopefully, but not hopefully, make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because you're a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Tom Brady. He's got a ton of weapons now again. And if they don't make the conference championship and maybe even the Super Bowl, that something's going on. Probably injuries would only be the thing that stops him. My number one quarterback is Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay. He has great targets this year. They don't really have a complete running game. I know they have Ty Montgomery, but he's more of a receiver. They did draft a couple running backs, but we'll get into that more next week. Yeah, but they had Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Martellus Bennett came over at the tight end spot, and Jordy Nelson. I mean, you're throwing the ball up to Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams, you're going to be getting 50 touchdowns again this year. My number two quarterback is Tom Brady, as we said. We'll probably be repeating ourselves a little bit with this stuff, but Tom Brady is a 5-time Super Bowl champ. He's been in for 8 times, right? No, 7 times. That's right, because he lost twice to the Giants. But so Tom Brady, he's just a stud. I mean, he's going to play until he's 55 years old if he wants to. Eli, who do you have for number 2?
Number 2, Aaron Rodgers. I just don't see him having as good as a year as everyone thinks, because he's gonna have I think just as good of a year last year, maybe a little bit worse. But he's still gonna be good. He's definitely a number 1 quarterback.
Oh, definitely take him in the first, as your number 1 quarterback. I was just thinking, Eli, as you were saying that a little bit, I think the one thing that could slow him down is the fact that they don't have a running game. Mm-hmm. So now they're going to go into nickel and prevent defenses, which means they don't respect the run. So I could see why he may have a little smaller, less year this year for points.
And Jared Cook left. Richard Rodgers isn't going to do anything big. But they did get Martellus Bennett, so that's good. He's going to have a pretty good year this year.
Yeah, I think I've been trying to do my top 10s all around for each position. He's going to be borderline top 10 tight end for me this year. Number 3, I got Drew Brees out of New England. They did lose Brandon Cooks, but they brought in Ted Ginn. Not a great replacement, but he still has Michael Thomas, Willie Snead, Colby Fleener. They just added Adrian Peterson. Mark Ingram's still there, so he's just going to launch the ball up. He throws 5,000 yards almost every year. Or is it 4,000? 4,000 to 5,000 yards. He throws a lot of yards, right?
That's the bottom line. He throws a lot of yards.
And a ton of touchdowns. I remember last year or 2 years ago, they played the Giants, and they just blew up for touchdowns, and it was just...
Yeah, 2 years ago. And then last year, when they played each other again, they did like nothing.
Yeah.
It was like 3-3 or something, 7-3.
It was a horrible game for fantasy. So that's my number 3, Drew Brees. Go get him. And NFC talks next week, so we'll tell you where to draft him. But definitely draft him.
My number 3 is Eli Manning, because he has all those targets. Brandon Marshall, OBJ, of course. Sterling Shepard. He has a lot of other guys, too. They have a lot of running backs.
That can't really run.
Yeah.
But they can catch the ball pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk a little more. I have Eli a little later in the draft.
Yeah, and I'm not too concerned about the running game as far as blocking, like not going to the running backs. He's going to have a great year, as always.
As always. He's good for 4,000 yards and about 30 touchdowns or so.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have for number 4, buddy? Sorry about that.
I have Drew Brees, number 4. Like you said, he is going to have a blow-up year. He has great targets. He's always been good. He always will be good until he gets really old.
You have Eli Manning over Drew Brees.
Yes, I do.
So if you were drafting right now, you would take Eli Manning over Drew Brees.
Yes.
Because why? Why?
Because they lost Brandon Cooks. They have a really good running game. So and none of them can catch really.
Yeah. No, it just blows my mind. because a lot of people have Drew Brees and a lot of people have Eli Manning way down in the teens or so. But
Yeah, that's why I'm drafting him early.
yeah, get him early. Yeah, I just wow. All right, so my number 4 is Andrew Luck, who we talked about in our 9s. You know, he does have that shoulder injury, but he has T.Y. Hilton, Dante Moncrief, Jack Doyle, Frank Gore, and Marlon Mack in the backfield who can catch. So I like Andrew Luck this year. If he can stay healthy, he's definitely a top 4, top 5 quarterback in the league. So definitely take him. Number 5, I have Eli Manning. As Eli said, he has Brandon Marshall, OBJ, Sterling Shepard, the new rookie tight end, which I cannot pronounce his name, but they have Evan Ingram, tight end. They have his first name I can't think of it, but it's Ty as tight end. Will Ty, and they have a whole bunch of running backs that can catch the ball. I love Eli Manning this year. And we're going to get to our blow-ups, but a little sneak peek for you. He's my blow-up, and I'll tell you why later. Who do you have for number 6, Eli?
Number 5?
Yeah, number 5.
Big Ben. He's going to be really good this year. I'm not too worried about injuries this year for him.
Yeah, he was going to retire at the end of the last season, but he changed his mind.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think he's probably got about 2 or 3 more years left. He is getting older. He is getting banged up quite a bit. They did add, well, they didn't add, but he came back. Martavis Bryant came back from suspension, so he'll help in the passing game, and they can figure out Eli Rogers and Sammy Coates. They should have a pretty good passing game this year.
They always have a good passing game because of A. Brown there. But, yeah, he's going to have a good year this year.
I think one thing that's going to hurt him is D'Angelo Williams is not there anymore. He was a really good catching running back. Yeah. So Le'Veon Bell can catch the ball. He'll get his 30 to 40 catches, but D'Angelo Williams hurts a little bit, but not too much. I do have Big Ben, but much later. Number 6, Eli. Who do you have as 6?
Andrew Luck. He's going to be okay this year. I don't see him doing anything big because they lost Kobe Fleener. Oh, wait, no, that was last year.
That was 2 years ago. That's all right. They still could feel that effect.
Yeah. They lost Dwayne Allen, though.
They did lose Dwayne Allen, yes. Yep.
That's who I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And they only have Dante Moncrief. They have a lot of wide receivers, but not all of them.
Kareem Aiken. They added Kareem Aiken.
Kareem Aiken.
Kamir Aiken? Kamir?
I don't know.
Something Aiken. Either way, we both know, like, who. So, keep going. Sorry.
And they have T.Y. Hilton. I don't think he's going to leave Indianapolis. Unless, Luck retires soon, but I don't think he will.
No, he's still young enough. He's not retiring. My number 6 is Tampa Bay quarterback Jameis Winston. I love his targets this year. I mean, yeah, D-Jax is getting older, but they still have Mike Evans. They got O.J. Howard in the draft. They have Cameron Brate coming, the second tight end. If they can figure out the running game, if they can stay healthy and not suspended, Doug Martin. But, yeah, Jameis Winston, he can run the ball. I mean, he's probably not going to run too much this year because they can throw it deep and hit his receivers. But he's a quarterback that everyone's loving this year, so you may want to get him a little earlier than normal. Along with this guy, Marcus Mariota. Everyone's loves him this year. I like his targets, but he's coming off a broken leg from last year. He's not too confident in it yet, so he's not really practicing too much. But his targets are great. His running backs are even better, so he can do play action. They can run the ball so he doesn't have to run around too much. But Marcus Mariota is a safe bet for a week number 1, definitely solid 2 running back in my position. However, I did hear today on Her Fantasy Football with Brandon, Marion Lee, Courtney, and Ashley. 2 of them, I can't remember what 2, are not big fans of Marcus Mariota this year.
Neither am I.
No, and I actually was going to put him in my busts, but I have someone else in mind. But yeah, Marcus Mariota it's number 7 for me. Who do you got, bud?
I got Jameis Winston at number 7. He's got great targets. He's got O.J. Howard. They drafted from Alabama. Pretty much anyone who comes from Alabama is probably most likely going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, we're in national championships. You think it would come over around and into championships in the NFL. So, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and then you have Mike Evans. They have Deshaun Jackson. So, they got some pretty good targets in Tampa Bay. My number 8 is Russell Wilson. He's gonna do great this year. He's still young enough where he doesn't usually get injured.
No, he's actually starting. I have him at number 8 also. I have Russell Wilson at 8. He is a running back who is smart enough to get down and do the baseball slide or get out of bounds and not take hits. I think he learned his lesson the first year or two in the NFL. So he gets down, he slides, and his targets this year are still Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett. I really think they should go after Anquan Bolden to give him that little veteran presence, maybe a little 10-yard out, and they can pick him up. They have Jimmy Graham. Running game, Eddie Lacy, Thomas Rawls, CJ Procise. So and he can still run the ball. A little scoot around the outside. He can run in 5-7 touchdowns on the ground. Russell Wilson's a good pick. If the other guys, the big 4 or 5 are taken, I'd take Russell Wilson. Yeah. I never used to like him, but this year I'm starting to come around on him. The big thing for me though is their offensive line is still not that great, and which is why Eli Manning for me is not number 3. Eli Manning for me is 5. If their offensive line was way better, he'd be way up, way up.
Yeah. My number 9 is Derek Carr. He's really great. He's gonna do awesome this year. I actually sneak peek. I have him as my sleeper or blow up. He's gonna be really great this year. They have Jared Cook at tight end, but they replaced him. They replaced Clyde Walford with him.
Clyde Walford.
Yeah, we liked him.
We did.
But they still have Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree. They got a lot of targets there.
Yeah, Beast mode. Beast mode can catch the ball.
And that'll give them they can do play actions. They won't line up in nickel that much.
Yep, I have Derek Carr also at my number 9. Same reasons Eli said, his targets are great. His offensive line is still pretty good and intact. And the only thing that really concerns me is that they play Kansas City twice and Denver twice, which are really good defenses. So if he can get past those 4 games, I think he's going to be really good.
Even with those 4 games, I still think he'll do pretty
good. Yeah, he definitely will blow it up, and he'll have a great season this year. He is also coming off a broken leg, but unlike Marcus Mariota, he's confident in his leg. He's ready to go. He can run around a little bit. He's not like a Jameis Winston, but Carr, he's going to be good this year. I think the Oakland Raiders are going to make the playoffs and off the arm of Carr. And number 10, I have Big Ben from Pittsburgh. As we mentioned, his targets are phenomenal. He's easy always in the running for MVP if he can stay healthy. I see big numbers from him, and he can run the ball. He's good for 5 to 7 touchdowns too if they want him to run it. Who do you have for 10, Eli?
Marcus Mariota. I don't like him coming off the broken leg. I don't trust him this year. He doesn't have very good targets other than Delaney Walker. There's really no one in Tennessee that he can throw to. Kind of Dorial Green Beckham.
Oh, actually no. He got traded last year to the Eagles, but then he got dumped. But no, they have Corey Davis, the rookie. They have we just did this the other day, 2 weeks ago. They have some targets. They have Delaney Walker, our tight end.
Yeah.
And they have Eric Decker, so that'll help out that veteran presence. Yeah. And they have Tajay Sharp and Rashad Matthews. So they're not big names. I mean, Decker's big, but he's old. So they're not big name receivers, but
they might get 5 touchdowns each.
Yeah. He's gonna. I think he's taking a step back. He's not my bust, but he's taking a step back this year.
Yeah.
Because his receivers aren't that good. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, Delaney Walker and Eric Decker. And other than that, they're just bleh,
Yeah.
They're good number 2s and 3s. That's what they really are.
Yeah, they're like New England. They have a bunch of backup wide receivers.
Well, New England's our starters.
Yeah.
Tennessee's isn't.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our top 10. Like you said, that's just our opinion. That's not where they're going to finish. That's not where they started. That's where, if we're drafting those top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
If they fall to us. So now we're going to go to our sleepers. My first sleeper this year, I changed it on you, Eli, when you saw my notes. I'm changing my sleeper to Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Out of Carolina. They added Christian McCaffrey. They have Greg Olsen, Calvin Benjamin's he's coming off an injury from last year.
But they lost Ted Ginn.
They lost Ted Ginn. But I like Cam Newton this year. 2 years ago, he was MVP numbers. Last year, he kind of went down a little bit. I think he's going to turn it around this year. I think he's going to prove all those haters wrong. He's going to. I'm not saying he's blowing up, but I'm saying just keep an eye on Cam Newton. He may be like your backup, but by the end of the year, you're going to want to start him because I think he's just going to prove everyone wrong. And you can definitely get him later in the draft.
Because no one likes him this year.
Yeah, exactly. So I would sleep on Cam Newton. Just keep an eye out on him. Eli, who do you got for your sleeper?
I got rookie going to Houston, Deshaun Watson from Clemson. He's going to do good. He's got good targets, pretty good targets. He's got Hopkins. He's got C.J. Fedorowicz.
Will Fuller.
Yeah.
Lamar Miller. So they're going to have... That's a deep sleeper right there. That's deep, guys. That's not even just a regular sleeper. That's a deep rookie sleeper, Deshaun Watson. And he can run the ball, too.
He can run.
The big thing, though, because he's just deep sleeper, though, is he may not start, but he'll be starting by the end of the year. Because Tom Savage will probably start the first 2 games, they'll lose, and then J.J. Watt's like, yo, get Deshaun Watson in. So
I know, right?
Deshaun Watson would definitely, that's a good sleeper right there. That's like a number 2, I want to start him on the bench, like deep down on the bench, and bring him back up week 7.
Yeah, if you like that one, you're definitely not going to like this one. Phillip Rivers is my bust.
Oh, Phillip, why?
Because
he throws 4,000 yards every year. Why?
He has no targets this year.
Well, he's like Marcus Mariota. No big name other than Keenan Allen, but he can't stay healthy. Other than that,
kind of Antonio Gates, but
he's like 800.
He's super old.
Yeah, and Hunter Henry's coming up, but other than that, they have a bunch of 4s and 5s and
exactly.
Yeah. So,
that's what I've been saying.
All right, I guess I could see why he'd be a bust. Do you have anything else on Phillip Rivers? I kind of ate up your.
Yeah, he has no targets.
No targets.
He's gonna, if he had good targets, he would be in my top 10, but he just.
And they lost Danny Woodhead, so that's a huge target right there. That's like 60, 70 catches right there.
Yeah.
And Melvin Gordon's not catching all those passes. My bust is Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl MVP last year.
I think he's still gonna do good.
Yeah, he'll do good. He has some good targets, but he's coming off the Super Bowl. He's coming off MVP. And usually MVPs take a big dive the following year. Like Cam Newton. So a lot of people still like him because it's Matt Ryan. He went to the Super Bowl, but he's my bust. He'll still put up probably like 30 touchdowns, but I think
he's got Julio.
He's got Julio. They have a new offensive coordinator. So that's going to hurt him a little bit. So
at least for the next 1 year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, they have to.
Once he gets used to the new coordinator, he'll be fine.
Exactly. And who is your blow up this year, Eli?
I have Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, and blow ups are going to be like they're just going to just throw like 1,000,000 yards and 7,000 touchdowns and a cajillion fantasy points for you. So yours is who? Derek
Carr of Oakland Raiders. He, like I said earlier, he has so many targets, so many good targets too. He's gonna do great this year. He can kind of run the ball, so if they need him, they can just run. Like if they're like 3rd and goal, they'll just run him in because the defense usually doesn't expect that.
Yep. And my blow up this year is Eli Manning, Giants. We talked about it. His targets are phenomenal. He doesn't care if Brandon Marshall gets all the catches or Odell Beckham gets all the catches. Let them worry about that. Let their fantasy owners worry about that. He just wants them to catch it and run and get touchdowns. And I've been saying this for the last month or so on Twitter. Why isn't Eli getting more love? Why is Marcus Mariota getting the love? And why isn't Eli? Well, he's older. Who cares if he's older? As long as he can stay off his back because of all his offensive line, he is going to get 1,000. He's just going to blow up. I'm speechless. Yeah. I'm speechless how excited I am for Eli Manning this year and his targets.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's going to do great this year. He always has done great. He hasn't actually missed a game since his rookie year.
That's right. He has the longest consecutive starts for a season. So yeah, just Eli Manning. If you can steal him late, that's a great steal. It's a great number one quarterback in my opinion.
And we have him as a number 2 quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
All right. So now that's our top 10 quarterbacks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that part of the show. Now we're going to go to the world famous candy bar bet. That's where we pin up 2 opponents, 3 opponents, however we want to do it. This week we're going to do our quarterbacks. And whatever quarterback we have, whoever gets more fantasy points, the other person has to buy the other guy a candy bar. So last week we had who would do a better job in our fantasy leagues and who gets the most compliments in our fantasy podcast. And Eli is up 1-0 on that. And this is what I said last week. I kind of word for word it now. Brandon Marion Lee from the Her Fantasy Football said, Eli is a young fantasy football prodigy this industry needs. And if Tyler doesn't win Father of the Year, I demand a recount. It's fun to listen to the 2 of them break down the matchups and players, helping everyone except the competitors win in their leagues. Good luck, guys. So, Brandon, thank you so much for the compliments. And so, Eli, you are up 1-0 because I just think that's cool that she thought you were a young prodigy for this industry. So, guys, take notes. He is up and coming. So, our candy bar bet is my quarterback. I like Eli Manning. I like the Giants versus Eli's quarterback from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Big Ben.
I'm pretty sure we did this last year, and I think Eli Manning won, but I'm gonna come back for a rematch with Big Ben.
And who's our candy bar bet, Eli, for the year?
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, because I have Tom Brady as my number 1. He has Aaron Rodgers for his number 1. So we're just going to do a candy bar bet with that.
1 versus 1. And I'm going to challenge all of our Scott Fish Bowl listeners in the Corella DeVille division. Whoever wins our matchups weekly, let's do a candy bar bet. If I beat you, or if we beat you, you owe us a candy bar. Or if we beat you, or if you, I'm so excited about candy bars. I just need more candy bars.
Candy bars.
All right, so if we beat you, you buy us candy bars. If you beat us, we'll buy you a candy bar. Or, because they'll probably melt in the mail, if you have a podcast or write articles, we'll talk about your podcast, or you talk about our podcast for 2 or 3 minutes, or write about us in your articles, and we'll do it that way. So get at us on Twitter, and we'll get all that information later. So our first challenge right now, though, is Brandon Marion Lee from Her Fantasy Football. Brandon, we're challenging you week 5. Us versus you, candy bars. And Scott Fish, we're going to challenge you, whoever has the better record at the end of the year. Candy bar versus candy bar. Sounds like a good deal?
Yeah.
All right, we're up for it. Let us know, guys.
I hope the candy bar doesn't melt.
That's right. On the way to us. So, that's going to do it for our show this week. We appreciate you guys listening. This has been the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2. If you want to get in contact with us, you can email us at tylerandelifftips@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at Tyler Belawski, which is TylerBelawske. And you can find us on YouTube right now. It's only on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube. It's the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. And leave comments, leave reviews, subscribe would be awesome. And accept our challenge, guys, from the Corella DeVille division. Just DM us and we'll set something up, candy bars or podcast appearances or whatever it is. So again, emails are Tyler and Eli FFTips@gmail.com, Tyler Belawski at Twitter, and the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. Woo! All right.
Yeah.
Another episode done, Eli. What do you think?
It's been good.
It has been good. Any other final thoughts other than it's been good?
Well, I think our team is going to be good this year.
In the Scott Fish Bowl League, I do too. And Scott, once again, thank you so much for putting this on. And, yeah, that's it. See you guys later.
Bye.